Hi, Nick here. So I went to 42 restaurants during 4 months based on the ranking of favorite restaurants posted by GEC faculty. And originally I was a bit hesitant to make this video, like an ultimate top five, because at the end of the day, restaurant choice, food, all that is highly subjective. And, furthermore, I clearly don't possess the palate to really substantiate any, strong claims. But nonetheless, enough people have DM'd me saying, what are your top five? So I thought I'd go ahead and just make this video for fun. Before getting into it, a quick shout out to number 6 and 7, which was the Canvas and Sobong. Those are my 6th and 7th favorite restaurants. Canvas is especially great for people in the GEC because of its proximity. I want to say it's a 2-minute drive from KSJ Village, and it is less than 5 minutes, from those people who live in places like Cannons. With that said, let's get into it. So at number 5, I have Goro's restaurant. It's about 15 minutes west of the GEC. Their two main dishes is the spicy noodle dish, but their best dish is the Goro bowl, which is a mix of avocado, salmon, tuna. One thing to be careful about here is it's incredibly popular with tourists. It can get quite crowded. We've waited 30-40 minutes before. So, if you're going to go eat there, be ready to potentially wait a bit. In 4th place, I have Cassady Noah. It's about a 20 to 25 minute drive from the GEC. Their main dish is their pizza dish. You kind of do wish maybe they had a little bit more like pasta and whatnot. But overall, that's their main dish. It's super good. The ambiance of the restaurant is great. It's relaxed. It's just a very pretty restaurant overall. And I think that's what sort of pushes it, from that top 6 to 10 into that top 5 is, when you include the overall experience you get by going to Casa di Noa. So Casa di Noa at number 4. At number 3, Gla Gla, a little piece of Hawaii on Jeju Island. It's about 10-15 minutes south of the GEC in Mosepo. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I really, truly enjoy the top 10, 20, 30 places. But I think one of the strengths Gla Gla had for me is its versatility. Their fish and chips, magnificent. Right? Their soups, excellent. Their poke bowls, lovely. It just seems like every dish they have, even the potato wedges that come with the fish and chips, is just so nicely made. And another thing that helps is, yes, it doesn't quite have, the ambiance that maybe Casa di Noa or Zen Hideaway would provide. But, in its own way, it just has such a warm, welcoming feeling, whether it's the cafe next door or the restaurant itself. And, it's just a pleasant visit for anyone who goes. So there you have it, number 3, Gla Gla, Hawaii. So Indian Kitchen was number 1 in the overall GEC ranking and number 2 for me. I imagine the same reason I put it up towards the top was the same reason as everyone else. The vegetables are incredibly fresh, with a lot of it actually being grown right there at the restaurant because they just have so much property in that area. I know it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but because it's in the middle of nowhere, it's just like the amount of land that it covers, including the B&B, it's like the size of like 20 restaurants. So you kind of get to enjoy being in this own private atmosphere of, Indian kitchen, away from everything else. Of course, obviously, the food, the curry, the naan, the kebabs, the biryani. You just can't go wrong when it comes to food at Indian Kitchen. And top that off with, an incredibly friendly staff. This place is my number 2 overall. Located 15 minutes southeast from the GEC is Zen Hideaway, my number 1 choice. Now, not being hyperbolic, but I really can't think of anything bad about Zen Hideaway. Its menu selection. You can have Thai food. You can have Italian food. Variety from there. There's 30 plus dishes. All great. The alluring view, the delightful decor, the friendly staff who all speak English. It's just an amazing experience. Zen is without a doubt my number 1 choice. Whenever I have guests from the mainland or from overseas, this is usually the restaurant I like to take them to. And there you have it. That is my top 5 plus 2 honorable mentions. Again, as I mentioned previously, I am no food expert. I definitely don't have the palate to really substantiate any of these claims, but nonetheless, enough people had DM me to say, hey, we gave you our top 8 rankings so that, you could make this little adventure happen. So at the very least, what you could do is provide your own, top rankings to everyone who's watched. So there you go. There are my 2 honorable mentions plus the top 5. And that brings an end to the series. Hopefully the first 4, provided pins, locations, numbers, which has helped you in some shape or form, find a restaurant that maybe you haven't been to yet. And on that note, this video comes to an end. Thank you for watching. Bon appetit. Have a nice day. Goodbye.